Hi guys, welcome back. It has been truly, it feels like a year. I finally have had the time to sit down and record this. I wanted to kind of recap my whole school year. I know in the beginning of these vlogs I started recording, but with schoolwork and just everything going on, it was just crazy, so I didn't want to vlog. So now that I've actually have downtime, I just wanted to kind of catch up, and I wrote down some questions to kind of talk about. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment and I will answer them. So the first question I wrote about concerning this school year was my favorite classes. A lot of my teacher education based classes were my favorite. I would have to say, since I'm fresh on my mind with what just happened this last term, it would be a social studies methods class that I had. The teacher was phenomenal. I loved her, and we did a lot of these teacher classes or education type classes are lesson planning and all that. So it was fun to do lesson plans, and we got in groups, and we actually went to two different elementary schools, and we had this like family geography night, and it was a blast. Um, what have I learned throughout the year? To not procrastinate, but I'm sure I'm gonna procrastinate anyways. I mean, everyone does that. It just happens. What I have learned, I've always struggled with asking help when I'm confused or I'm lost. It's one of those things that I'm kind of afraid to ask for help because I didn't want to like seem stupid or anything. I've gotten better at that. I'm still getting better at that, but that was one of the things that I've learned throughout the year was to ask for help, and especially to do it at the beginning of the term because I struggled a little bit with one of my classes in the middle of the school year, and doing that in the middle of the term wasn't successful versus doing it at the beginning of beginning of the school year to get help. And again, that goes with what I could do different is making sure to ask for help, not being afraid, because the teachers are there to help you. Another thing is I'm finally receiving my AAOT, which stands for Associated Arts Organ Transfer. So last year I finally finished at community college. It took me more than 2 years because I had Brian, so I had to stop going there when I was pregnant and having him. So I finally finished and I got my associates. I'm still waiting in the mail to get the certificate, but I finally received it. There was a issue with classes and credits, and so one of the classes I took here this year was able to transfer back, and so I'm waiting in the mail, but it takes forever to receive it because there's so many students. So I'm really excited about that. And then another thing with the ed program, I also have some vlogs about volunteering. So I ended up volunteering that same classroom throughout the whole school year. I mean, obviously I went around classes and whatnot, but I went through the whole school year, and I just loved second grade. I have to say that's probably the grade that I want to teach. I just love the students and building that relationship with them and helping them, and so that was a lot of fun. Along with the education program, so I have my hours done. This summer I plan to take the tests. So there's 3 tests. Essentially there's going to be 4 because I'm getting my ESL endorsement. I have to take that additional test. But I want to get these 3 tests done. So there's a civil rights test, and then there's 2 subtests where they break down all the subjects. And since I want to teach elementary and you teach all the grades, so I want to do that this summer so I don't have to worry about it when I have to go and turn in all my, the application that has the tests and the hours and the letters and stuff like that. So that's one of the things I plan on doing this summer. The beginning of the year versus the end of the year. Well, I do have to say that university is a lot different and a lot harder than community college. I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory, but I didn't know what it was going to be like. I didn't know I just didn't know like coursework, the homework load and whatnot. Um, I actually had, I'm not ashamed to say this, but I actually had to redo some classes, and the university level for those classes were different when I took one at the community college and so forth. Um, and because it also is granted it's a small university, um, the the course, I'm like trying to think while I'm recording this. It was just different. It was a little bit harder than I expected, but I still pushed through it and I ended on a good note. I did 5 classes this last term. 3 of them were A's and 2 of them were B's. I am super proud of myself um, for being not only a full-time college student but also being a mom. And I just praise any of them, any students, whether they're just a student, whether they're a parent or they're working. It's hard work, and so I'm relieved to be done. That's for sure. And so next year I'm gonna be a senior. Woo woo. And since I'm getting my degree in teaching, I finish out all of next year and then I student teach. The good thing about next year is there's a couple classes that are kind of still random and not education based that I have to take, but other than that, they're all method classes, which is a lot about lesson planning and how to do different activities and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for next year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and when it gets to those education type classes and the method type classes, I know good grades, because I've struggled as a student, and again, I'm not ashamed to say that since elementary school I've struggled learning, and so when it's these education type based classes, I've always gotten A's in, so I'm really excited to get into that. A little shout out to one of my close friends, Sam. She got married in May, and I was one of the bridesmaids, and it was just a wonderful time, and to know her for 18 years or something like that. It's been really long. Since first grade we've been friends. So I just want to give a little shout out to you, Sam. And then one last thing about Brian. His first day of school versus his last day of school. So for those of you who don't know, he started in September, early Head Start. So he was 2, almost 3 by that time. He was in early Head Start for a couple or 3 weeks. He turned 3, and then he went to the Head Start, which was a different location. So he was in a new complete class, and so that was from 8:30 to noon. And oh man, he absolutely loved it. He made so many friends. The teachers just loved him. The kids loved him. He was like the class clown. I mean, I could definitely tell he enjoyed being in that class. And just seeing from the beginning of the school year to the end, which their preschool graduation was May 15th, which is super early, but from what I've told, they start in August. So he just loved it. Definitely he's grown, and along with that, with his speech, he's just skyrocketed from the beginning of the school year or the last summer to this year. He's definitely improved a lot, and I couldn't even be more proud of him. I mean, he's got a long road to go, but he's definitely gotten better, and we'll see in future vlogs how much his speech has changed. So that's kind of a little, I don't know, I'm probably boring you with all this talk, but I just finally wanted to do a video, kind of be like, I'm here, I'm alive, I finally have time to sit down and record something. I also got a new camera that I'm using and another editing program that I'm going to try out, so it's probably going to be different from the future vlogs, but from here on out I'm hoping that my vlogging skills ability is a lot better, so to say, but we'll see. I have some other ideas and other vlogging ideas. If you have any that you want to see me do, comment, let me know, and I will be sure to include that in the next vlog, and I will see you guys later. Bye!